Now, the 2025 Basketball Africa League season begins on Friday in Pretoria with seeding games that will determine the quarterfinal matchups. The league introduced a seeding game system last year, and teams that finish the regular season with the best records will face the second best ranked team, and so on. Now, Ahli Tripoli is ranked number 1 after winning all 6 of its regular season games and having a better point differential than number 2, Ittihad Alexandria, who also finished undefeated in 6 regular season games. Now we have Vusiwe Ngcobo. She left the studio earlier and has made her way to Pretoria, where all the basketball action will be happening at the Sunbet Arena this weekend. So let's hand you over to VV. Quite quick there, very impressed. So talk to us. What can we expect this weekend?
Quite quick, Sakina, and zero traffic on the way to Pretoria this morning, of course, in the nation's capital. As you can see, I am out at the Sunbet Arena. This will be the battlefield for the 8 teams that remain in this edition of the Basketball Africa League. Of course, it's the 5th year that it's taking place. And joining me to speak and break down what the expectations are starting from Saturday all the way until the 14th, where the champions will be crowned, is Mamadou Diop. As you can see, there is a bit of a height difference here. Mamadou, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let's perhaps speak about the growth of the BAL since inception in the African continent and what you make of that.
Thank you and good morning. So this is our 2nd year in Pretoria, Johannesburg, and as you can see, last year we built a great momentum when we had like a lot of fans that were enjoying not just the game but the show that we were offering in and outside by the fan zone. And this year we're coming back and you guys are gonna host the finals because of the momentum that we built last year. We had a great 3 conference in Morocco, Senegal, Kigali, and we're here for the finals. And Petro de Luanda, the defending champion, will try to defend the trophy for this year again.
We speak about Petro de Luanda being the defending champions. Perhaps you can just speak to us a little bit more about how it's so interesting. A lot of the teams having football names, because you've got a Petro de Luanda, you've got an Al Ittihad, you've got an Al Hilal, you've got an Al Ahli. Very, very interesting. Speak to me a little bit more about that.
So as you know, in Africa, most of the soccer is more like, known than basketball. So, but most of those teams are like long-time teams that have also basketball component. But there was not that the structure, something that is structured like the BAL to host all these teams to put them on the international stands. So that's what we have with the BAL for the last 5 years. This is our 5th season, and when you see all these things, we got building a great momentum, great vibes, and now we can see the value of having those teams having both sports into like the same team.
I mean, some of our viewers sitting at home and listening to us speaking about an Al Ahli, a Petro de Luanda, asking themselves, are there any South Africans that we can see in the BAL? There's only one left, yep. And he's with the defending champions.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit more about him?
We love him, and last year he did a great work with the Cape Town Tigers. We saw a lot of buzzer shoot that he takes, and it was great. And I think it's great to have him back in here, and it's great to have the crowd to come and support him but also the overall the BAL. So certainly having him back here is a great moment for us, and I think for the whole South African nation, having someone that is still representing the nation is something great and something that we hope that people will come and support.
Let's speak about logistically what it takes to bring the BAL to the Sunbet Arena in Pretoria. I mean, you had to put the arena in here. Talk to me about that and how much work and effort that is.
So as you can see, the Sunbet Arena is not a basketball venue. It's an events venue. But what we do is just, as where we stand right now is a court that we bring and we built. We have those stage, the LEDs, as you can see, where we have the scoreboard, jumbotron on top of our head.
This looks absolutely stunning. I don't know if we can ever get a shot of that from the camera, but it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yep. So we're building everything. We're building the court side, that LED screen as well. That's what we use for scoreboard, the extension. So everything that you see here, that's what we built over a week with my amazing production team and the operation team. That's what we build. We make this arena looks like a basketball arena. And outside, you have locker rooms where players will be between games and before the game. We build that too as well. So this is the heavy machinery, but we love it. And we're asking people to come and see what we have. And you go outside, we have something that we call the fan zone, where people can spend time before the game and between game, where we have food, activation, music, and everything. BL is more like basketball. It's a lifestyle like brand that we're building around Africa.
Indeed, and as we continue our conversation, you've already touched on the fan zone you're going to have outside. When it comes to what's going to be happening here for the lovers of basketball, you've spoken about how we're so familiar with soccer. How have you seen the growth of the interest in BAL when you come to these various African countries?
So let's say this year, that was our first time in Morocco, and we have sold out arena. We went to Dakar when we had over 48,000 people in the course of 6 game days. We went to Kigali where it was amazing, and here. So you can see over the last 5 years, we went from like a limited amount of people coming to our game. Now we're going to like sold out games, which means like people are getting more interest and people are seeing the value of coming into these games. And the goal is to make sure like the product stay in Africa. We have great players all around Africa. Instead of sending them overseas, or they can inspire you to play for the league and stay in Africa and make it a living.
You speak about the great players. Perhaps you can touch on some that people can expect to see. I've heard 1 or 2 former NBA stars are going to be here as well.
I mean, that's why we want to ask people to come and see. This is going to be a big surprise. But we have players like Yusundoy, we have players like Babakar Sane, and we have other players that will come and join. Great players, from all these teams. If we start naming them, we're not going to finish, but all of them are amazing players. And you see the level of the game, the quality of the game has evolved over the years. So I think people need to just come and watch and see, the spectacle that people are offering, especially the players. These are high quality games. Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Mamadou Diop speaking all things about the Basketball Africa League. It starts on the 6th of June, that's Saturday, all the way until the 14th, right here at the Sunbet Arena in Pretoria. So do make sure you get your tickets and come experience what the basketball lifestyle is all about.